Alrighty, it's time for another episode of Ink Transfer Drawing with Mark Zimmerman. I'm Mark Zimmerman. I'm putting the finishing touches on a thin layer of really intense black ink. Then I'm going to drop a sheet of paper on top of that ink. And I'm going to draw and rub on the back of that paper, transferring ink to the front, which is face down right now. I don't want this paper to move while I draw, because then I get smudge marks from that ink it's laying on. So I'm going to tape it down. Get that out of there. Okay. Now, the ink is inside a rectangle of tape, and I can feel that tape with this pen and drag the pen along the edge of that tape. It tells me where I need to put my drawing. That's got to be too far over. Try it from a different direction. No. Alright. This won't matter much. There's no ink out there to transfer on the other side, so really just fine. Alrighty. Oh, let's do something kind of fun. Let's put I've got a photograph I'm looking at. Maybe you'll look at it over there. Alright. And again, the pressure of the pen on the back of the paper is transferring ink to the front. Partly, ink transfer drawing is just an excuse to scribble. So I'm putting in a lot of kind of scribbly little lines. Give them a little bit of a chin. Try not to overdraw when you do ink transfer, because things get a little dark kind of fast when paper is laying face down on ink. pen's not working. It still transfers ink even when it doesn't work, but I can't tell what I've done, so I'm going to do something about that. The more pressure I put on the pen, the more ink I transfer. So you can almost, I think, hear the changes in the pressure. You can probably see them a little bit too. Well, he takes up most of the space. Okay, I can transfer a little ink with just the pressure of my finger too, and I think I'm going to do that a little bit. Now I have to just remember where I've been, because my finger doesn't leave a trail of ink. So I kind of need to think a little more while I do this. Now I can peek and see what it is that has happened underneath there. Got very dark, but I think that's okay, we're alright. The picture I'm looking at is a gray cat, but I think I can't paint gray on top of gray and have it look like much. And since I had a big orange Tom once, I'm going to paint him orange. I'm going to paint him orange, but I'm going to start with yellow. And I'm going to try to remember that a fair amount of this guy is actually kind of white or pink. Forgot the white here. Get that chin back to something closer to white. It's a dark yellow. So I can lighten it if I feel like it. And I think I feel like it. Putting a little more water in my orange. Okay. So I don't have any white, but I do have water, and I can make things lighter by adding water. So I'm going to lighten this down in here in terms of color. It's got a lot of fairly dark ink transfer already, so I don't need to do much with color. Get that back on inside the lines. Wouldn't it be nice if there were points in life for staying inside the lines? There aren't even points in art for doing that. And a little bit smaller brush, maybe. And give him some yellowy green eyes. That's a little much, huh? There we go. Put a little pink in his ear. Oops. Put a little pink on his nose too. Oh, more pink up in here. There we go. And put in just a little bit of background. Something simple that doesn't really detract from the cat. Getting a nice bleed there, and I'm going to let that orange bleed into that blue somewhat. If it was going the other way, I think I would stop it. But I don't mind the orange coming out into the blue. It's important to remember that this is not a cat. This is ink and paint on a piece of paper. And at some point it needs to kind of work as ink and paint on paper. My big orange Tom was named Spike. So I'm going to call this little guy Spike. Sign it. Zimmerman and date it 2020. And there's Spike. Hope you had fun watching. Goodbye for now.